I think, right, I'm live, I think. Yes. Thank you. Coffee right on time.
Cup of Joe.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
You might need to shut the door.
Shut the door.
Yes, hello everybody. I'm just going through and trying to find a colour that I need and I can't find it. Walnut, there it is. Tight squeeze. Tight squeeze. Hi Joanne. Okay. So I'm going to swatch these while we're waiting for people to arrive, essentially. And I'll let you guess, although I think it actually, ignore that, it says it on the actual live feed what we're doing. So I'm going to swatch them anyway because I think it would be good for you to see, as I say, while we're waiting for everyone. Okay, so we've got Flame. Can you read that all right? Yeah, zoom in a bit. Just focus on that. Flame Red, which is CR11. They're not going to be coming out in any colour order. If I just put them here, it just saves having to search for them in the book. Burnt Orange, B04, and I've just remember I've forgotten to do something. Green Grey 1. Green Grey 4. Burgundy. I think I might have to bring some blacks out for these. I wanted to do something that, fingers crossed, won't take too long to render up, and it's something that you can have a go. I might have to use pencils later on. GY4. Hi Carol, hi Wendy, hi Sarah. Aniseed. I love aniseed. There's so many people I know that absolutely hate aniseed, but I love it. Are you a lover or a hater of it? Mimosa. I'm going to have to put my big girl pants on, to be honest, because I need to go in pretty heavy with the colouring to get the final effect, I think. So, it's a bit too close to that one, so I might not even use this. Okay. Reference picture. I can't show you the reference picture because I do not own the right to the picture, and I'm not 100% sure where it has come from. It's just one I've had for ages, so yeah. Okay, so that is pretty much all my colours swatched. I'm just going to lay them in front of me, and I've got my blender as well, and I'm hoping I won't need them all. Right, I just need to do... Why do I need to do that? I need to add very quickly, won't be long. I bet I can't find it actually. If I can't find it, I won't bother. There. should have turned comments off. Essentially, I've just put a little video out to say that I'm going live to try and get a few more people to come and watch, because my channel's dying a death at the minute, and we don't want that. Okay, so I need the reference. I need that up so I can see what I'm doing, and I can just about see. Howdy there, stranger. Feels like ages since you were last here. Just going to move the camera slightly. So I don't know how well you can see that, but this is the bow that we are going to be doing. I have never attempted anything of this kind before, so if it goes tragically wrong, I will just go cry in the corner. I won't actually, but it'll be really annoying. So I have got a colour printout version in front of me, and I've got the version on the wall, and there's not a huge amount of difference actually between the colours, so I'm probably going to just use the reference that's in front of me to save me having to keep looking over to the Ujami flip, because that's the technical term. And yeah, well, we'll just see. So I'm thinking for all my lighter layers that this is the row that we're going to be using. So the golden yellow, aniseed, mimosa, and moonlight might be usable. I think moonlight's going to be our base colour. Then our shadows are actually going to be done in the green greys, but I really like this walnut for some of the shadows, which I know sounds really strange, but when you layer up and put it on, it tends to make more sense. And then for the deeper shadows, it's much brighter through the camera than it is. Is that a bit better? Might be a bit too, that's a bit better. Let's see how we get on with that. And then worst case, I will have to bring in maybe one of my really dark browns, but the burgundy, if layered up, should be dark enough. Yeah, I don't think I can go any darker than the burgundy anyway. Possibly EB7, dark brown. EB7, EB7, EB7. Let's pull that out just in case. Look at this, a full sheet of classics. I don't think I'm missing any classics now. I've got them all. Because, yeah, you can never have enough markers, right? Dark brown, which is EB7. Okay, so I am going to lighten up the colour slightly, I think. Just going to roll over with my kneaded eraser just to lighten some of the colour slightly. So I was really deciding whether or not to do a candy cane, a Christmas pudding. I wanted something that I could possibly render up in the time that it takes to do a live feed, so you can see something construct from beginning to end, basically. Right, that's lightened up a real good portion. And so moonlight is going to be our absolute base, and the aniseed has a slight green tinge to it. Gold isn't what we consider gold. I know this is going to sound really stupid, but gold, depending on how you look at it, can have quite a lot of green tones in. I mean, I could practically just colour the whole thing. Let's just change to the finer end. So let's work on this portion, like these 3 bits here. So we'll work on a portion at a time. pop the share out over on my Twitter and stuff in a minute. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is differentiate the sections, because if I don't do that now, I'm going to start getting confused. So let me do the quick share out. Tweety tweety. Tweet. Doobie doobie doo doobie doo. I like that song. Too embarrassed to sing the whole thing though. This is where I wish you could play music in the background and sing along and not get penalised for it. Sorry, I'm realising this is the most boring bit for you, but if I share it out at the very beginning, people disappear because they're bored of waiting, like you are now. But because you all love me, you're hanging around. So, last one. I promise. Hey, I've not long really started, Emily. You're fine, darling. Well, everyone keeps saying I sound like Adele. I'm not sure if that's a good thing. So yeah, I'm just going to separate the sections here now. I'm using Spectrum Noir marker paper, by the way. But if I don't separate some of the elements now, then it will get lost and I will get lost and it will just turn into a big messy pile. Burgundy or dark brown? I think that actually could go straight away. Dark brown. I've noticed on the shadows of these bows, because of the type of fibre that these ribbons are, they've got like little dots that not dots, I don't even know how I'm doing dots. That's what I'm doing to create the texture that you can see within the shadow. Just little dots like that. Lovey do-rab. It's a really long story, but he went down for a mini procedure today, which hopefully will do something. I don't know. I'm losing the plot with everything that's going on, to be perfectly honest, with Dad at the moment. I think I need an in-between. I think my colours are they go from one extreme to the other. I've got nothing in between aniseed and the golden yellow, so I'm thinking maybe the actual gold itself, GY3. So technically today was his he's had 2 operations and today was his 3rd procedure while he's been in hospital. So yeah, it's ongoing at the minute. He's very, very unlikely to be out till February. So to anyone, family that's going through it at the minute, I totally feel your pain. Probably didn't need to use that, so I'm going to bring in the aniseed. So the aniseed has that slightly green tinge that gold has. And although the shadows are quite stop-start, we still need to give it a bit of blend, I suppose, is the word I'm looking for. Right, mimosa. Okay, I'm going to need to bring in white highlights, but I'll do that at the end with a white pen. Green, grey. 4. Nice. That'll look nice. It is a long time, yes. 3 months. Yeah, I'm definitely thinking I'm going to bring pencil in at some point to make some of it a little bit punchier. Probably didn't need the, should use the moonlight, I think. Yeah. Just put a little bit more colour in the shadow underneath, but already you can see that that's forming. We've only really done a couple of colours so far, but already just from that little sort of section there, I've probably gone a bit too dark down here, so I'm just going to come over with the blender and just draw some of that colour out. Let that do its thing. Okay, so the thing is with these is there's lots of little bits of shadow, and I've got to be careful that I don't go in too dark. So the mimosa shadow comes out there. Want green grey 1, I think. I can darken it if I need to, but we've got some little patches here that just need adding in. I can probably afford to go a bit darker. So green grey 4. So if I go over that with the blender for the minute just to see. He does. Yeah, he's just fed up with it. Maybe I am being protective, maybe misplaced, but I am guessing trying to have a little escape time from the, it would be nice, yeah. So this is my little escape time. Me, Joe, and everyone else that's going through it. The thing is you know, we get wound up and we forget to look after ourselves, but you know, we're not the ones sitting in hospital suffering. And that's the really annoying thing. I wonder if, I'm just going to experiment very quickly just on this portion, because I am tempted. Yeah. Okay. So for some of the finer shadow detail, because the nib of the pen isn't always quite small enough, I might just come in and use this pen. I should have erased that pencil. Oh, nice. Ha! It goes through marker. Who knew that? I wouldn't have thought it would. Nice. Problem solved. Oh, come on. Do you know, there's one thing that annoys me about these erasers. If you get a little bit of miscoloured, whatever you want to call it, shade, fallout, then you can smear it into the paper accidentally. Uh-oh. Power's back now, though. This is my favourite escape. You're absolutely right. I feel I need to go in with the burnt orange, but I'm going to go in with gold and yellow. No, I'm going to go in with the gold first, because it does need to go dark, but I'm really worried about going too dark too quick. Because unlike pencil, you can't come back from it that easily, so... See, I know that if I put my Brave Girl pants on, I can go darker than that. And I am thinking the burnt orange. So I'm going to be quite fine about doing it. And none of it's going to make sense until I start doing the next section of the bow. Nope. What do I want? What did I use before? Ah! Golden yellow. There, just to blend it. Still think I need to go darker. Let's use the golden yellow, and then we'll have to blend out with the gold. See, this is what I could do with just like a touch of, let's go with the green grey one. Just on this edge here. And then we can blend it. Let's blend it with the moonlight. Oh, there we go. That's really hitting some shine now. So if I see if my jelly roll's going to work. Let's do some little dots for the texture. Funny material, isn't it, that these bows are made from? Can you see how that white's just helped it pop a bit? So I think I need to bring my blender in here just to eliminate a little bit there. And then just strengthen the moonlight in between. And then this bit needs to be a bit stronger. So again, once we start working on this top bow, because I'll end up coming back anyway and making things stronger in various places. So like, what colour do I want? I think it's that one. So down here, it's like a really faint but grey line. Oh, walnut, walnut, walnut. Do I want to do walnut? I'm going to do walnut. If it goes wrong, oopsie daisy. I'm really nervous. Come on, just do it. Big girl pants and all that. It's possibly too dark. It is too dark. There's no possibly about it. Okay, it should have been. It's green grey 2. Let me grab green grey 2. When you put a lighter colour over a darker colour, it helps desaturate the darker colour. So don't panic too much. I try not to. Oh, I don't know what that noise was. If I feel I've gone too dark, because it isn't the end of the world. It just means you've got a bit more blending and working over the top of things to do, really. There we go. Okay, so I am a little bit annoyed about that edge, but there's not a lot I can do about it. I think I might have to do a little bit of artistic license here. Just on the very edge. Might look stupid. No, that doesn't look terrible. Hi Doris. Try Pexels, Rob. Because I'm looking at doing some more mini tutorials for the Patreon. I don't know if you've seen the Patreon post. But I'm planning on doing some more mini tutorials, and I found a really good array of stock photos that I didn't actually find on Pixabay, so it's worth checking on there. What colour do I need? The green grey's not cutting it, or is it? Right, they're all the dark ones. I need the green grey one, really. Okay, so we've got a portion that goes up here. Pretty much the whole of that is green grey, so we put the green grey on top and then we blend over again with the yellow. Mimosa. No, I want moonlight, 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 moonlight. Okay, so I'm just going to blend over the top. It's probably a bit too strong, I think. So we'll just keep blending. Reduce some of that out. So much of this isn't going to make any sense at all until we really get going on the various sections. So in here, for example, the whole of that is like tell you what, pencils work so well over markers. It's such a good combination. Probably could just go and get a cold grey, but I've got this in my hand, so why not? So pretty much all in here is really, and I mean really, really dark. Just realised that shading in here needs to actually come down. Yeah, I couldn't decide between candy cane. I think I looked, yeah, Christmas pudding. I looked at like a matte bow, but then I kept seeing these foil ones pop up, and I thought, no, fancy trying that. Pexels, exactly how you spelled it, P-E-X-E-L-S. Don't forget to look in the group photos either, Rob. There's some in there. Ones I've taken. Okay, so it's just going to look really, really weird when I start doing it. But I'm just, again, going to have to put my big girl pants on and just get on with it, because you need that contrast. So let's just do it. I'm not going to be perfect with where all my shadow placements are going to be, but perfect enough. Try and keep some negative space for highlights. Squeaky. I love that noise. So again, when you blend over the top, you don't entirely lose your colour underneath. So it's a really good way of sort of mixing colours. So you can see already that sort of shadow it's casting. It doesn't look daft now you're working on it. I've tried but can't seem to concentrate on the tutorial, so I am on one colour and one has used about 10 and moved on to a different. Oh dear. Oh no. Sorry, my lovely. Okay, we need, where's that burgundy gone? It was burgundy I used, wasn't it? crap. No, it wasn't. It was dark brown. Although I might use the burgundy as well. The Fur Friday tutorials are good ones to get yourself back into things because they're uncomplicated. They're only sort of half an hour, 40 minutes. I think the longest one so far is just over an hour. There we go. I found my red panda drawing, which was my very, very first animal drawing in colour pencil. And I'm going to redo it and possibly redo it as a tutorial later on next year. But the Patreon, while I've got you guys here, is going to change quite a bit this year or next year, in the sense that the style of the tutorials will change. So we're going to be doing a lot of studies rather than full-blown pictures. So once every quarter we shall do a full portrait, but in between we'll concentrate on doing like ears, nose, mouth, eyes, hair, and including in that is dogs' noses, cats' ears. You've got the Fur Fridays free on the YouTube anyway, but hair references, like Erica suggested that we do red hair, different coloured hair. So that's what I've been basically doing over the last couple of days when I've been able to get to the computer, is grabbing myself a load of references. So that's the plan. Then that way you can practice the tutorials. They take, I was going to say they take less, but actually I don't think they will. But I'll do them in a way that they don't take as long. And it takes pressure off of everybody, including myself then as well. So can you see what I mean about how it desaturates when you do a lighter colour over a darker colour? So it's a really, really good way of blending. What I want to do before I do anything else is I need to get this shadow or reflection. It's not a shadow, it's a reflection up in here. It's all these little areas and dots and lines and things that all help towards giving you that real realistic effect. Is that the reference pick for patrons? I want to do that. The red panda one. Yeah, the red panda. Do you remember it at all? It's my own picture, it's my own reference, so we'll be using my own reference when we do it. But I'll aim to probably do that in the first quarter maybe, I don't know. We'll just have to see how it goes and how you guys get on with the tutorials, I suppose. Just use the wedge, love, instead of keep. There we go. I'm going to get, instead of keep using the marker, I'm just going to use a pencil for some of these. can use the marker, but I worry about it going too heavy. Funny you should ask, a young lady, because I have one coming. The only reason I haven't done previous subscription boxes is because simply I haven't been able to afford to. I have swallowed the cash this time round because there's one specific one I want to try and I want to share with you guys. So I do have one on the way, but I don't want to give away which it is. There is also, I was gifted from Stabilo some new metallic pens, and my God, they're gorgeous. So keep an eye out for that video. That will be next year. And I was also gifted a ton of neon highlighters and pens. So there'll be a neon video coming up next year as well. So keep your eye out for those. But yes, I have a subscription box coming. I don't know when they were shipped and I don't know when I'm going to receive it. But there is one. I'd like to try more, but I just simply don't have the money to do it at the minute. Let me find the, you'll see me in my little blanket on my lap. Okay, so this was the very, very, very first animal drawing. 2016. So that was the very first animal and colour pencil. So this is the one I'm going to be redrawing. As I say, it's a reference picture of my own, so I will share it with you guys. And I'll do it at this size as well, so it doesn't take us long to do either. But it'll be interesting to see the difference. I think the difference will be huge, actually, between the two. Yeah, but have a look, because there are reference pictures in the group, so don't be afraid to have a look. So already we can start seeing that it's becoming 3D. Now I can see that I need to go darker in here again. So I am tempted. Let's go in with the golden yellow. I'll just make that bit stronger. That does need to be stronger. That's better. The bit above it also needs to be stronger. Put another coat of that on. Do just a couple coming a bit further along there. That one could do with being a touch darker. There we go. So when we, or I, come to put shadow on later on, it's really going to make everything pop to the forefront. So there's essentially a line of reflection. So when it comes to shiny surfaces, you do get shadow. So this here is your shadow. This bit. This black line isn't a shadow, it's a reflection. So when I say shadow, I sometimes mean reflection. I just say the wrong word. My daughter wanted to draw that with Jazza, but he charged a fortune. Oh, what, the subscription box? It was £100 or something, wasn't it? Kind of worried about buying one, then finding I won't use products. Well, the one I have coming is the one I'm probably most excited about trying. And I did, and it wasn't for the lack of trying, I did approach a couple because I know that they do give them away, even though they say they don't. I know that some do give them away, but I didn't want to push my luck. So I just tried a couple, just to ask if they were willing to do a collaboration, etc. But they weren't at the time. So for this specific one, from what I've seen so far, I've been really pleased with their products that they've put in. So I wanted to give them a fair try. And yeah, see what happens. Okay, so I could do with darkening this. This is a shadow under here, and I think we're going to use the green grey for this. Or are we going to use golden yellow? Let's try green grey 2 first. Because you don't necessarily have to go dark, you just sometimes need to change the tone or the colour. There we go. Okay, so we need to bring in, not dark enough, I need to go darker. I feel I need to go darker, but I know I don't need to go darker. I know that sounds really stupid. It's not necessarily darker, it's more of a change of tone. So I'm just going to put in the green grey 1 just to slightly change it, and then I'm going to go back in with the Moonlight, which is our base colour. Just again, just go over the top. There really isn't. There we go. There isn't much in it, and there is a dark bit just under here. So let's get this down here done. I'm going to be as straight as I can be. So let's get a ruler. So I'm not particularly great at freehanding straight lines. Can't get my nails underneath. Get under there. And this is curved more than straight. There we go. Okay, so we're just going to fill the space. This is why I love me wedgies. People don't give these nibs enough credit. They do a lot of the hard work for me. Right, I'm thinking green grey, then we need to go over again with the Moonlight or possibly the aniseed, but I have a feeling the aniseed might be too yellow because I think that's what messed that one up. So I'm going to go over with the green grey 1 wherever I did that, but only on the areas that's reflecting. All under here. We're almost about halfway up actually. And we'll grab our Moonlight, which is our lightest, and then we're going to blend over the top. I really could afford to go darker actually. I don't know that I want to. You need a coffee made. I've ordered a scrawler box. They include artists who use the products and a challenge. Yeah, I was tempted at scrawler box, but yeah, we've just not been able to. I have been tempted with the scrawler box. The stream keeps buffering. Oh, it's. I don't think it's my end. I don't think anyone else has had any trouble. Okay, let me get the shadows in first, I think, before I decide if I'm going to go darker. Do I want to go darker? Let's go darker. Even if it's just on the shadows. Hopefully you can see as well that I'm not being particularly neat, which I should be. I can still go darker. Oh, what to do? I would have thought the mimosa would have been dark enough, but... Okay, that's good enough. For now. Right, let's go in with our green 2. Just to place these shadow dots, and then I'll strengthen it up. Because some of these get quite fine. Where did my pencil go? Itty bitty dots, just to get some practically all the way along here, so it's something it's reflecting on. Do you know what, I might even, I'm wondering if I need to bring in the cap at mortem. No, just stick with what you're doing. Stick with what you're doing. Yeah, I'm just trying to decide because I really can't talk and draw at the same time. Let's say the reference, I need the darker one, is slightly different on my monitor as it is on the printout, because I didn't print it out high quality or anything, so... Come on, they've got to have something in between. Let's build up the mimosa again. There is only so much you can layer of one colour down before you cannot saturate the paper anymore with the ink, and it will just stop getting stronger in colour. Just going out very, very lightly, because I don't want to go over any more with the green grey 1 or 2, because I don't want to desaturate the colour that's already down. So I'm just going to use the pencil just to strengthen it a bit more. There we go. Cap and mortem. Just a bit here and there. Probably blend in some of this as well, just to make that transition a bit more. If you've never tried pencil over markers, it's really worth having a go. It goes over really smoothly. I think do with being a bit stronger under there. Yeah, and this one. We all know the better the contrast you have, the more 3D something will look. Apart from that annoying bit there, so I'm going to have to magically erase that. So I'm looking in my monitor as I'm doing it, because looking in the monitor like you would take a photograph actually gives you quite a good perspective. So you can really see whether or not something's working. So if it's not something you've tried and you're not sure if something is working, just take a photo of it. And it's a really good way of comparing. Instead of that, let's, for the sake of this, just brighten it a bit with a white pencil. There you go. What do we think? As I mentioned on this stream, do you know saying never judge a book by its cover is not possible when buying spirits? Speaking of coffee, Coffee Man is good. He's next door keeping my mum company, who is currently visiting us as we're off to see Santa tomorrow with the girls. So we're all going for a little family jaunt, which would be nice. It's that one I told you about in a previous live feed, the one that's, and here's more colour, the one that was, they have, what am I trying to say? Still not getting enough colour. They have a special sensory time for autistic and sensory processing children. So the lights are much dimmer, the music's quieter, and there's less in a group when they go in and see the big guy. So it'll be a much more relaxed atmosphere for her, which I think she could really do with. So I'm looking forward to that. And she is too. She's really excited, as you can imagine. Right, let's get that show in. That's like the stitch that holds it together. Okay, so we've got quite a lot of detail to add onto this one. We need to darken under here as well. Trouble is, I've also got to be careful because it's lighter through my camera than it actually is. So there's a dark edge here as well. God, that's worked really well, that one. Really well. So let's see if we can't make this one pop a little bit more. Mind you, saying that it is pretty dull on the reference, so it's not like I'm mega out on that colouring. No, we'll leave it at that, I think. Yeah, it definitely is. Hi, Vicky. Don't be daft, Rob. You've done some incredible work. Okay, so Moonlight was our base, wasn't it? So let's do this tricky one. This is the tricky one. Keep that bit clean. Get a good base layer down. Line that up as we've lost a tiny bit of shape in there, I think. We have various things that once I get a proper diagnosis, I will have access to. So it's at the moment it's a waiting game. She has had her date for the autism assessment. We know that she has the sensory difficulties. We know that she's been diagnosed with DCD now. So all of that's sort of done. It's just a case now of waiting for the final autism assessment. And yeah, once all that's done, then we're going to have access to a lot more than what we have now, which would be good. One thing, the tongue's coming out. I didn't think I was ever a tongue person when I concentrate, but apparently I am. Okay, right, let's go in with burgundy. Let's put those big girl pants on. Right, the darkest brown, which we're going to use dark brown, is this section here. It sort of fades down a bit. Got some burgundy. God, there's not much difference when it's wet between the burgundy and the dark brown. There will be once it starts to dry though. Golden yellow. Let's go with golden yellow. Again, I'll add highlights with white pen afterwards if I feel it, which I will, necessary. So how prepared are you all for the big day? To add a lot more detail still, but let's get the basis of it down. this is quite honestly why I've stuck to doing my live feed through everything that's been going on, apart from that 1 week where I just couldn't. I had to for my own sanity. It's been such a fight and such a hard time for him in there, and it's, you know, he's had a real mix of some really lovely people looking after him, others that won't listen, others that are just thinking he's bloody minded. Yeah, it's just been, it just feels like you're fighting all the time. Okay, that's working. Mimosa. I have a feeling I'm going to bring the mimosa in. Night, Joe. 1 or 2 to wrap. Yeah, we're really behind because we just haven't had time. We've either been up the hospital, picking the girls up from school, food shopping, or, you know, been working while I can't get up the hospital. So yes, it's been interesting. But we see potential light at the end of the tunnel, fingers crossed. I don't even know how long we've been going. I think we need to tonally change up the middle section. I'm thinking it needs to just, or does it? Or does it need to be whiter? Oh, I don't know. Right, I'm going to change the tone up. So I'm going with that, and then I'm going to go in with the Moonlight, which was the base colour. And that just adds that grey tone. And then I'm going to grab my white pencil. Go over the top. See, now I look at the reference, it's really bright. So let's add some jiggery pokery on top. Oh, and we have a nice strong highlight in there. Semi-highlight in here. Yeah, I definitely need to start looking at the computer rather than my printout, because I'm seeing things now that I can't see in the printout. So that's practically 1/2 done. So I'm going to add a bit of shadow in a minute, because I'd like to see just how real we've managed to get it looking. So the shadow is falling under here, and I'm going to cheat a little bit and come in and use a stubby. Not really prepared at all. My son is deployed. Ah. How long is he away for? a shame Leslie's not here, because I know she's been looking at adding shadows to certain things. It probably would have benefited her, just to, not that I'm doing a huge amount, but enough for her to see. Right, we can afford to go quite dark, and the reason I'm using graphite is because graphite is the easiest one to blend out, to be honest. And I think it gives you a much more natural looking shadow. I found it quite hard when I did it in colour pencil to have to graduate out, whereas when you do it in graphite, I think generally it's easier to do. Like that white line. Okay, I don't quite know why there's, I think it's shine. I don't even think it's white. I'm going to have to, yeah, it is, it's shine. It's because I used the jelly roll. Big mistake, clearly. I've ended up using the Payne's Grey. The shadow's not as dark as this on the reference, but I want to give it a bit more punch. But I want, yeah, I just want it to have that look of it sitting off slightly. How's that? That looks like it's laying flat on something, doesn't it? I had a yellow in my hand, didn't I? Yeah, I don't need a yellow. I need an ochre, really. I think that's working pretty well. Just trying to gauge where colour might need strengthening slightly. Just go over that with the mimosa, I think, just to make that a bit stronger. There we go. So 1 hour 16 isn't too bad to get. Hi Sherry, I didn't see you hop on. Do you know what, my girls are, they haven't even gone on about it, actually. The only thing they really want is is a Zig Zig R. Oh God, I can't believe I did that. Is Heelys. I've been going on about them for about 3 years. Madison just wants computer games because that's all she's addicted to, and Amelie really is not one. She'd rather have money that she can then go and buy what she wants. Yeah, she's pretty good with all that actually. If I was to hide that half, I don't know. To me, it's missing a punch of something. I don't know what it is. I think it's because things aren't dark enough. I honestly think that's what it is. So let's go in with the dark brown again and try and darken some more areas up. They want bikes and scooters and things like that, but because of Amelie's DCD, if I buy her a bike, she will get really upset and frustrated because she can't ride it. So I don't want to go and buy her something that is going to cause her distress. So as much as she thinks we're being mean because we don't get one, or Santa doesn't bring one, you know, I think she does sort of understand that actually it's not always a good idea. So it has been a little bit tricky. Just trying to pick out, because there's certain, no, wrong end. That's almost got a shape of a highlight in it. That's better. It's this one that's driving me crazy, and I can't, there's something going on with the shape. The reflection doesn't quite seem right. Yeah, she's really good. Like, she's obsessed with LOL dolls, and she calculated exactly how much money she had, which would get her X amount of LOL dolls. And we did a couple of price comparisons. She found a cheaper shop. She went, well, if I go there, then I can get an extra doll that I wouldn't get if I could go here because the price difference. I think they're on sale or something like that. So she can be savvy when she wants, but other times her patience sort of tends to get the better of her. There we go. That's improving already, actually. I don't want to go, let me go in with the gold. I think there's not enough of a stop-start between the highlight and the reflection. And it's not giving you a true enough whatever the word is I'm trying to look for. See, this is why I don't do real-time videos on YouTube, because I can't actually talk at the same time as drawing. I've got to somehow get over that. just got to make a bit of detail up, really. I think that's a bit better. I think once the other side is done, it won't look or feel so odd to me. I think at the moment, because the other side isn't done yet, that's probably making my eyes look confused. We've got 20 lists. I'm really tempted to leave the other half till next week. I'm going to do that, I think. Let me bring the darkness down, see if that makes any difference. Sort of. Not really. Sorry, proper wobble camera. Yeah, I think what's happening is the camera is washing the contrast out. So I'm just going to take a quick picture on my phone. Let's see. Yeah, it is. So on my phone, trying to get it in between the ring light, otherwise you're just going to get the reflection. Can you see how much darker it is on my phone? It looks much more realistic on my phone, I think. Yeah, I think it's just the contrast is having a bit of a wobbly at the minute. That's all. Right, what we'll do then is I don't actually know what date next Wednesday falls on. Oh, it's actually Christmas Day. So I won't see you next week, but I might see you. I might do a Christmas Eve one and we'll finish this up on Christmas Eve if anybody fancies it. I'll pop a message up in the group, but let me know in the comments if you are happy to watch one on Christmas Eve. And yeah, I might even pop a bit of alcohol in as well while we're at it. So I'll keep the pens that we're using now out, apart from those, because I know we haven't used them yet and I'm unlikely to. So I'll keep all the pens together. Yeah, it might be nice to have a little bit of a drink and a draw. As you see everything go wrong, the more drink I have, and it just sort of ends up completely weird and wrong. So yeah, we'll do that, I think. Do it on the Christmas Eve. And if you don't want to join me, that's absolutely fine too. You've all got lives. I appreciate it. If I'm not up with hospital with my dad, actually, saying that, I'll have to figure it all out nearer the time. We'll go with the flow, shall we? We'll just go with the flow. Anyway, have a good morning, evening, afternoon, whichever it may be for you guys. If you've enjoyed the video, please hit the subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up. That really, really helps. And don't forget to share with your friends and family if they can learn anything from today other than me yabbering on. And yeah, hopefully you found it useful. And I shall see you guys in the next video. I'll see you later. Bye.